You mentioned police firing rubber bullets. How much do we know about the circumstances surrounding that?
We saw several men approaching the police line. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put my mask back on because the tear gas is moving in. But they were firing on this gentleman who had his hands up, and he went down and he was shot by rubber bullets. He was okay. He was obviously hurt, but he was taken away, arrested, surrounded by several riot police, and put in the back of one of the riot vehicles. I'm going to have to put the phone down momentarily while I put my mask back on. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem at all.
Direction now.
All right. Listening and speaking to Steve Kastenbaum there, who's on the streets of Ferguson. A dramatic turn in events there on the streets. We're a little bit away from the second night of a curfew there. But what's happening there as we look at these live pictures, you see these riot police. As we heard from Steve, hundreds of people started protesting, heading toward the command center there. There's been smoke, there's been tear gas, and that's why Steve Kastenbaum had to leave, put on his gas mask to basically recover from this sense, because it attacks your eyes, and it's not a very pleasant feeling at all. And what we've heard from Steve is that police have been firing rubber bullets. Now, a very specific situation here. We don't know a lot of details around this, but you can see there is trouble on the streets. There's smoke there are rubber bullets, there's tear gas, and at this point we will continue to watch the situation there, as we are a few hours away from this second night of the curfew beginning. But there are a number of protesters. They are angry, and of course what precipitated this, if you haven't heard, is the killing of an unarmed African-American teenager some days back, and things started to calm down. But then the local police released footage of that young teen involved in a strong arm robbery in a nearby store. Now, it had no relationship at all to the eventual shooting of this young teen, and that has stirred up this anger on the streets yet again. And in actual fact, it was the local police there that released this without getting authority from others. And this has precipitated this next round, this problem, this anger on the streets from people there who feel it is unacceptable that a young teenage man walking down the middle of a street, stopped by a policeman, ends up dead just seconds after that. All right, we're taking you now to domestic. CNN.
Here in the CNN Newsroom, I'm Poppy Harlow. We have breaking news for you this evening out of Ferguson, Missouri. That is where chaos has broken out again on the streets. You're looking at live pictures from our affiliates there on the ground. Our teams are on the ground there reporting out what happened. I want to bring in Steve Kastenbaum. He's one of our producers who has been on the ground there in recent days. Steve Kastenbaum just reporting to us what the scene is like. I think we have him on the phone. Steve, what can you tell us? What is happening as we look at these pictures of obviously some of those armored vehicles going down the street towards protesters with like many police behind them?
If your hands up, the police are evacuating, firing flash grenades and tear gas at the crowd. They are now pushing the crowd back. They are aggressively firing flash grenades. In tear gas, the crowd backing up. They're continuing to move slowly on this crowd. The flash grenade being used.
You know what, Steve? Let me update our viewers here. We're having a hard time hearing Steve because he called in earlier to us with the gas mask on. It is hard for us to understand that. Obviously, he and his team needs to stay safe on the ground there. If they can get far enough away to call in to us safely without that gas mask, we will bring him back to you. But what you are looking at again are live pictures of the scene unfolding now, 9:37 p.m. Central Time, far before that midnight curfew was supposed to take place. And you see chaos breaking out on the streets there of Ferguson, Missouri. This following a day where a major rally and service was held at a local church church in remembrance of Michael Brown, that unarmed team who was gunned down now just over a week ago, who was shot and killed by a police officer there in